What is up YouTube, it's Chris, and I kinda wanted to clarify a couple of things regarding why I actually stopped playing Dead by Daylight and why I switched to VHS and why I have such high hopes for VHS. So hopefully after this video you will have your answer. Obviously I could talk about everything that's been going on with Dead by Daylight, but what's the point? There's a lot of those videos already out there. I feel like everybody already knows the problems with developers and what they've been doing to the game and how they treat their own community, but honestly, that's not even the biggest issue for me. Let's put all of that aside, right? All the way from NFTs to MMR to skill-based matchmaking to all the bugs in the game. Let's say all of those weren't the issues. Let's just go back to Dead by Daylight what it was like a year ago. This is when I started out playing, and I think Dead by Daylight was in a pretty good spot. Behavior dropped a new chapter every now and then. There's not been all that many issues. Hackers were not as big of a problem as they are now. At least for me, back then Dead by Daylight was pretty enjoyable to play. So what exactly is the issue? Well, I was a newbie back then, right? I was still learning how to play and I was testing out the roles, seeing what I want to main. I decided on Survivor because I found it more fun. You play with other people, you communicate, whatever, you can talk on Discord. It's just really nice to know you have teammates to depend on, and whenever I tried to play Killer, it just wasn't doing it for me. It was really repetitive on that side, you know? You have like one objective, you need to down the survivors, put them on hooks, kill them. But what I found really boring is that you get looped as a killer. And I know I sound like a hypocrite here because that's why I started playing Survivor. I love looping, I loved learning how to loop, that was my thing, right? But when you're on the receiving end of those pallet drops, it just doesn't feel all that good, especially when the survivors start being toxic. Again, maybe being a hypocrite here, but who the hell cares? I just loved the way Survivor felt. Killer, not so much, it just wasn't my thing. I found it boring, frustrating, and repetitive, which is exactly the issue that I'm gonna be talking about. The Survivor side became pretty boring for me after playing for like 10 months, because I was playing on a daily basis and I was playing for hours upon hours. I managed to accumulate over 1,000 hours in Dead by Daylight in less than a year. I know that might not sound so much to a lot of people, but you know, I was doing other stuff as well. And I don't think I'm necessarily talented at games, I'm just really good at learning stuff, right? I watched a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of streams from, you know, bigger creators who were really good on Survivor side. I was learning from them and trying to apply that through my games. I know a lot of people never get really good at looping because they're afraid of getting down and stuff. That wasn't really the case with me. I didn't care if I died in one match, as long as I can try out something dumb that I've already seen works on somebody else's stream or YouTube video. I just wanted to learn how it works so I can use it for myself. And that's how after 1,000 hours on Survivor, I became really good. Everybody knew that I was really good at looping. I even mastered 360s to some degree. Not to the point where I was freaking Aaron or JRM, but I was pretty good. And that is where the game started feeling repetitive to me. I learned all of the loops on each map, all of the windows, locations, palettes, and I learned how to verse and go against almost every single killer. And in the end, that led to me having very boring games, right? Because most times I could alone run the killer for 3-4 gens, which is already enough to win you the game. And if I wasn't doing that, I would just have fun, right? I would flashlight flank, do some stupid stuff, try to go for flashlight saves, but even that gets boring after like 2 matches or so. And I hit the point where I could only play Dead by Daylight maybe like an hour a day, where I felt it was enjoyable. After that, I just didn't feel like playing it anymore, and I started getting burnt out on stream, and I was trying to find some other games so I can mix it up, like one day Dead by Daylight, the other day something else, but they're just not me, you know? I loved single player games when I was a kid, but I kind of grew into being a really competitive person, so I wanted one game that I can focus on, master, and invest myself in. Because I'm always aiming to be one of the best in that game in maybe one particular role. That's why I love League of Legends. I mean, I still play it every now and then, but I'm not committing myself 100%. And that's when I start falling in love with VHS. You know, it's a new game where I can be one of the first creators, which is awesome. I can be the guide on YouTube that people come to learn how to do all sorts of crazy stuff. And that was actually pretty awesome because I wanted to be a creator, I wanted to be a recognized creator, and I also wanted to become really immensely good at the game. And VHS provides that for me. It's an immensely fun game that I fell in love with. I absolutely love playing Teen, you know, all the weapons and stuff. It's just so cool that there is no patterns. You will almost never be able to kill the skilled monster. in the same way twice in a row. It doesn't happen. So I really love that it doesn't feel all that repetitive. You can definitely become really good at using weapons, at strategizing, but what makes it really interesting is that you still have to be spontaneous most of the time. You will have to think on the spot and figure out a plan, how to save your teammates, kill the monster, plan out your next move. Depending on what weapons you need, what is the best weapon against this monster, in this situation, on this map, where can I lead him, how can I buy most time, how can I get to my teammates? There is always so many questions going on in your head, and I absolutely love that feeling. Which brings me to one more thing that I'm looking for in the game, and that is the competitiveness. I was talking about it earlier, and we already concluded VHS is a great, wonderful game that I absolutely love playing, and there is one more missing link for it to be the perfect game for me, and that is that competitive side. What kind of matchmaking system and ranking system will they make? Can the game make it to esports, which I did make a video on, I'm gonna link it down below if you want to watch it. All of those questions and their answers will be the definitive reason in the future if I'll keep on playing VHS, and if I do, I'm gonna fully commit. At the moment, it looks like this is the game for me. I don't want to just play it. I want to be a part of it, you know, a part of the community, of its future, and that's why I do my best to make as much content around it as possible. I want to help it grow. Developers definitely deserve all that love, and the game itself does as well. So there's your answer. In summary, the reason I actually left Dead by Daylight was because it wasn't doing it for me. It became repetitive, boring, and it never managed to feed my competitive side. And I feel like VHS is the game that can provide all of that for me. So yeah, that's it. If you guys have any further questions or maybe want to talk about something, just let me know down below. And if you guys found the video enjoyable and don't want to miss out on any future awesome VHS content that I'll be making, please consider smashing the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you want to turn on the notification bell so you get notified whenever I post a new video, that would be awesome. Wishing you all a beautiful rest of your day, and I guess I'll see you in the next one. See ya.